I know, everybody. I'm feeling the sting just like you are. It's that time of the year when our inboxes on Facebook are just getting barraged with invites to ugly sweater parties. You don't want to go. I don't want to go. No one wants to really go. But you don't want to be that girl or guy, so you're going to go. But then you're like, well, what did I do with my sweater? I puked on it last year, or whatever happened to it. So you gotta do the same thing every single year. You gotta dive in your dad's closet, your mom's closet, or you go down to that store 2 blocks from your house where they sell gently used clothes that's been washed 28,000 times and they still stink. You still just got a little hint of just, ew. Well, forget all that. I'm gonna have you make your own ugly sweater in the Marvel style, rocking Iron Man with a pair of antlers this year.
We fight. Sorry, Tony. You know I wouldn't do this if I had any other choice. But he's my friend. So was I.
The bromance coming to an end. Well, we'll see how their relationship ends up May when Captain America Civil War gets released. They're going to be friends then, right? Come on. I hate when the parents fight. But anyways, though, it is the holiday season. It's coming to an end, and you want to make yourself an ugly sweater that happens to feature Iron Man with a pair of antlers. Oh, hell yeah, you do. You want something badass, and you want to stand out there at your party. You want to rep Team Stark. Maybe you're repping Team Stark right now. I flip-flop, but that's what I'm doing at this holiday sweater party gathering, and that's what I'm going to have you do as well. I'm going to show you how to do it right now. All right, well, you're going to need a red sweater, sweatshirt. Doesn't really matter what it is. You're going to need some fabric paint as well for the painting. You're going to need some brushes, a Sharpie, X-Acto knife, or some scissors, and freezer paper for the stencil, because we're going to be tracing the stencil onto the freezer paper, and I'll make that stencil available on my website or put some link for it. But here's what we're going to do though. With the freezer paper, make sure the shiny piece is facing down onto your stencil and the rough is up, and then you just go ahead and trace your stencil onto your freezer paper. And voila, there's our stencil of Shellhead with some antlers. Looks pretty great there. But before we go anywhere else, before we start cutting the stencil out or painting, here's what I like to do. You can take a piece of cardboard. I got cutting board here. And we're gonna create a barrier in between the sweater or sweatshirt, whatever you use. Because when we do start painting, have seepage go into the other side, on the back side of the shirt, and you know what, you're gonna have an even uglier sweater there. So that's what I like to do now. But back to the stencil though, on the freezer paper. You got the doll side here. Everything inside the mask is going to be painted, but the eyes are also going to be painted too. So we're going to cut the eyes out first and place them before we cut out the rest of the stencil, because obviously if we did cut out all of the face that is going to be painted, the eyes would go with it. So here's what we're going to do with the eyes. Okay, now with your scissors, blade, X-Acto knife, whatever you're using, go ahead and start cutting out the eyes here. And then we're going to use double-faced tape to place them onto the sweater. Okay, now we got our stencil placed with the eyes cut out. We're gonna put the eyes back now with tape on the back side and put it back into the stencil so we can paint over that, because we're gonna cut out the rest of this face, remember that. So we're gonna put the eyes back into the stencil right now, like so. And then we're going to bring the stencil back off and cut out the rest. Now that your stencil is on, now your stencil is on, lined up with your eyes, we're going to take this iron here and we're going to iron it on. So the shiny side is going to be on to the sweater, and that'll help it secured as we're painting. All right, so here we go. Our stencil's on, ironed on, and we're going to start painting here. All of this red portion right here is going to be yellow. So it's going to probably take a few coats here, and we'll finish that up and do the antlers. And then when all this is dried and everything like that, we'll go back and finish off with the eyes with some blue. But let's get started on this face mask here for old Shellhead. All right, the Christmas Iron Man with antlers looking pretty good. I think Shane Black would appreciate this in Iron Man 3, right? It's Christmas themed. So we're gonna let this dry, and then after that's all dried, we may go back and see if we need to put another coat on it or not. But if it's all good, we'll peel all this off and we'll fill in the eyes. Alrighty, we got our Iron Man ugly sweater painted, we got the antlers, and we got the face done. So we're going to start pulling up some of the freezer paper. Be careful when you're pulling it up. Use your X-Acto knife or whatever you're using to start pulling up the side because the paint does stick on the material there. So gently pull that up. We're going to get this all taken off, and then we're going to hit the eyes with some blue. So now we're going to paint the eyes blue with this fabric paint there. But we don't want to go back over the yellow, so you can take the stencil you previously cut out for the face. You can put that back on there if you want. Try to line that up. Or you can do what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take Scotch tape, and hopefully I don't get too crazy and go over the Scotch tape into the yellow. All right, it's all masked off, and I was going to go with the blue, but I thought that was a little bit too bold for the eyes, so what I decided to do with this, I put that down and then got some white fabric paint as well and mixed a little bit of white in there and took out some of the boldness out of it. Makes it a little more pastel, but now let's see how these eyes turn out. All right, I've got the eyes pretty much all done, but still some red seeping through there. I want to touch that up a little bit, maybe get a smaller brush. I don't know, I'm not very artistic, so I improvised. I just went ahead and got a Q-tip and I'm going to try to get some of that red out of there with the blue I have already mixed.
I want one.
No.
Woohoo! There it is, everybody. Your ugly sweater for 2015 Iron Man with a pair of antlers. Not too bad, I don't think, right? Some of the improvements I would do. I wouldn't have the eyes crooked. I kind of messed that up, but don't judge me. I did my best. I'm sure if you have a little smidge more than me, you get the eyes just fine. But also, you know, you're just going to be your holiday parties, you're going to be with your friends. You're going to be puking. Well, maybe if you do puke, maybe make the eyes glow in the dark. Maybe a little company when you're out there, puking up all that eggnog over your shoes and everything like that. Maybe make the eyes glow in the dark. And also, get a material that's flatter. Not like a thermal. I know fashion people or people that know materials probably fabrics are losing their mind right now because I can't describe what I'm trying to say, but something that's flat. I'm sure that paint will go on a lot easier that way. So, hey, have a happy holiday and make yourself your own Iron Man sweater with antlers, which I may try to do, I don't know, maybe Spider-Man next year. But make sure you follow me here at The Daily Yak on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram because I got lots of great dog pictures at JTso. And over on Twitter at JTTso. Yes, that's JTTso. And screw you, Jackie Tiso. You have that stupid handle for JTso. Just give it to me. Come on, I'm branding here. Girl, come on. My holiday wish. So, happy holidays all you guys. Rock out with Iron Man with a pair of antlers this year. But not you, Jackie Tiso. Unless you give me the JTso handle, then we're cool. We're cool, all right? Cool. Hey,